Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's pick a card reading is a huge deep dive. We get really into all of the juicy details. We are going to see what is this connection that is on your mind? What is it all about? What is its purpose? What are the current energies? And where is it headed in the future? Just before I get into it, I have an exciting announcement, which is that I have a new song out today. This is a collaboration with Maidenfield, who many of you are familiar with. Actually, all of you, because our intro song on this channel is also a collaboration between me and Maidenfield, and this one happens to be our 5th collaboration together. I'm so happy that we've been able to collab so much over the years. And this song is called This is Komorebi. Komorebi is a Japanese word which translates to sunshine filtering through the leaves of trees. You know that beautiful moment when you look up and you see the sun rays peeking through. Sometimes it looks like there's some orbs going on, or maybe you're walking through the forest and you see the little sunlight dappled on the ground amidst the shadows. For me, Komorebi has a feeling of hope, like a glimmer of hope. For Maidenfield, it has a feeling of those warm, hazy memories that you get, you know, like those beautiful memories that you remember so vividly, and every time you think about them, you get that warm feeling. Oh, not me getting emotional. I was gonna say that's how I feel about visiting my grandparents as a kid. But anyway, yes, this is an uplifting trance song. I will have it linked down below if you would like to check it out on streaming services. We had an idea for a music video made up of Komorebi from around the world. So for the past couple weeks, we have been receiving your submissions, which has been so cool. I had already posted about this music video idea on Patreon as well as Instagram. We received some submissions already from those, and so I thought I would also ask you guys here on the main channel if you would like to participate in our music video. All you need to do is send us a 3 to 10 second clip of Komorebi from wherever you are. It doesn't have to be through leaves if you don't have any leaves where you are. I'm from Canada. We don't have any leaves right now because it's middle of winter. It can be through the branches, it can be through buildings, even if you just have a cool clip of the sun rays coming out with the orbs, with the warm feeling, that is totally fine. You can definitely be creative with it. Preferably, we would like the clips in horizontal. And if you are okay with this, we would love to include your first name in the credits, as well as the location where the video was taken. It's been really cool to see the different parts of the world where the videos are coming from. So if you'd like to participate and have your clip included in the music video, you can send your clip to kinomusic44@gmail.com. And thank you so much to everyone who has sent a clip so far, and for your kind words and for our email exchanges. That is one of the things that makes me the happiest, and it's so cool to have you guys involved in a project like this. Okay, that's all for now. Link down below if you'd like to listen to the song. Thank you guys so much. I'm sending you so much love. And now let's get on to the reading. Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So I am pretty excited to get into today's reading because the whole reason I'm doing this particular reading today is because I had a dream that I was doing it, and it was so vivid, literally down to the list that I wrote, which I'm gonna show once you choose your group, but the whole breakdown of the reading, that came through in my dream. Even the specific decks that I'm using came through in the dream, so I definitely felt like I had to make this reading today. And by the way, I totally believe that you guys watching inform me of the topics that I should cover, whether that's through a dream or like sending me a little message telepathically. I totally believe that we have that kind of connection. So if you were wanting this kind of reading, shout out to you and thank you for the inspiration. So this reading is for those of you who have had a particular connection heavily on your mind, and we are going to be taking a deep dive into what this connection is. What is it all about? What is the meaning of it? We are going to see the current energies between you and the other person, who I will be calling your person throughout the reading. And we're going to see where this is all headed. What is the likely future outcome between you and your person? So there are 4 groups to choose from today. There's a lot of different things that could help you choose your group. So of course, we're going to be using a different tarot deck for each group. There's a different crystal for each group, and not only are they all different types of crystals, but they're also different shapes. So the shape of the crystal could be calling out to you as well. And I'm going to show a card from each deck, and they're all going to be different. So you could even be drawn to the particular card that comes out for your group, whether you like the imagery or if you're familiar with the meanings. Maybe the meaning is one that feels accurate to your current situation or your current energy, or it's an energy that you want to strive for. You could even scroll down to the timestamps and see what's going on down there, and maybe there's a number in particular that resonates with you. But yeah, there's a lot of different things to help you pick. And without further ado, let's get a close-up look at each of your options. For my group number 1s, we have this rose made of rose quartz, and we're going to be using the Gentle Heart Tarot. And your card is the Page of Cups. For my group number 2s, we have this owl made of opalite, and we're going to be using the Naked Heart Tarot. And your card is the 7 of Pentacles. For my group number 3s, we have this cloud made of amethyst, and we're going to be using the Pastel Journey Tarot. And your card is the Ace of Swords. And for my group number 4s, we have this star made of selenite, and we're going to be using the Pastel Wizards Tarot. And your card is the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so here are all of the options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one is calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi, number 1s. So if you guys chose the Rose Quartz Rose and the Gentle Heart Tarot, this is going to be your reading. Like I mentioned in the intro, we are doing this reading just like I saw it in my dream. So the tarot board came out today, and this is the full breakdown of the reading that we're gonna do. So we have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. On YouTube, we are gonna start with these oracle cards to see the highest potential of the connection on your mind. Then we are gonna go through the spots on the tarot board from 1 to 10, and each of them is going to represent something different. So we are going to see how you show up in this connection, how your person shows up in this connection, something about you that your person loves, something about you that triggers them, the turning point of this connection. So this turning point that we see, this could be something that is about to happen in the future. Could be something that is currently happening, or even something that has already happened in the past. But this turning point represents a moment that leads to powerful shifts in your connection. Maybe it leads to one or both of you having a profound realization and sort of changes the course of the connection. So after we see the turning point, we're gonna get into the future of this connection. So we're gonna see how you'll change within this connection, how they'll change, and we're gonna see your next moves, their next moves, and the final outcome. Then in the extended reading, we are going to see what would maintain this outcome and what would change it. So regardless of the outcome that we see, whether it's the one that you are hoping for or not, we are going to get some insights as to how you could keep the outcome if you want to keep it, or how you could change it. Then we are going to get a message from your person's egoic self as well as a message from their highest self. So we can see how similar or how different they are. And then finally, we are going to look at possible significant time frames, places, as well as signs and synchronicities pertaining to this connection. So we have a big meal today. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting with the energies representing the highest potential of your connection with your person. We have garden, emotional healing, growth, and single. We have release and surrender. All that is falling away is no longer serving you. This release will create more space for presently aligned blessings to take place. And then we have, this is like showing your true self or using your fullest potential, using your natural strengths. It's really giving that feeling, and it says, this is me. That's beautiful. I'm noticing a recurring theme of rainbows, which could be significant. This is reminding me of Mount Fuji, just because I'm in Japan. But there could be a mountain that is significant to this connection, or the theme of mountains in general. Also, the numbers that we have here are 20, 15, and 4. The year 2015 could be significant. An age gap of 4 or 5 years could be significant, or a life path 4 or 5. Also, I want to turn off the heater. Okay. As soon as I saw this garden card, what I actually thought of was secret garden and sanctuary. And I imagined it as this world, this intimate world that you are building within yourself. A part of you that you keep safe just for you, a part of you where you can truly be yourself. And in the highest potential of this connection, it's like your secret gardens merge. I hope that makes sense. The sanctuary that is within you, the safe place that is within you where you can be totally yourself, and their safe place within them becomes one. It's like a merging of your inner paradises. I could put it that way as well. Oh, I just noticed there's mountains in this card too. So rainbows and mountains are significant. Symbolically, this could be talking about overcoming all obstacles and finally reaching your destination, I'm hearing. This person has the potential to be in your life to either witness some of your life's greatest achievements and milestones, or to actually be a part of them. You could be working towards big goals and milestones together. Together you are stronger. Okay, there's a song coming through that's called Together We Are. So I'm gonna make a note of that. Together We Are Stronger is literally the hook of the song. I do think this is someone who has the potential to witness or be a part of your life's greatest highs and lows and be there for those really formative and significant moments. Like, this is a major player in your life. You have the potential to witness each other's greatest dreams come true, and it's very emotional because of how long you've been together, because of the highs and lows that you've witnessed. To see each other finally win is a very emotional moment. I also see that you have the potential to travel the world together. You could be traveling just for sightseeing and adventures. You could be traveling because you got invited, I'm hearing. I don't know what that means. Maybe you got invited to an event. You got invited to speak or work or perform somewhere together. I think that's just for some of you. I think you have the potential to challenge each other's inner critic and to challenge the narrative that the other has that puts them down and that really belittles their potential, because you see in them their true potential that they might not see because they're blinded by insecurity, and vice versa. They see the potential in you that you don't see because your insecurities blind you to it. And I could see you actually calling each other out of, don't say that about yourself, don't talk about yourself that way, or don't talk about your future like that. I know that your future is brighter than you think. And I have this visual now of it's that secret garden thing again. Like your secret gardens merge into one, and then they can grow and spread out to the world. You may be very aspirational or inspirational together, and you may start a wave, I'm hearing, of people being kinder to themselves and making their dreams come true, finding their rainbow on the other side of the mountain. Somewhere over the rainbow could also be significant, or Wizard of Oz, Wicked, something like that could be significant as well. So let's get into your tarot now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just move this moon over. And let's get into the nitty-gritty of this connection. Group number 1, how are you currently showing up in this connection? How are you currently showing up in this connection? We have the 5 of Swords. How are they currently showing up in this connection? The Magician. What is something that your person loves about you? The 10 of Swords. What is something about you that triggers your person? The 4 of Swords. What is the turning point of this connection that propels you into your future together? The Knight of Cups. How will you change within this connection? The Queen of Diamonds, which is the Queen of Pentacles. Or is it the Queen of Wands? I think it might be the Queen of Wands. How will they change within this connection? We have 2, the 9 of Cups, and the King of Swords. Your next moves. The 3 of Crystals. Okay, I got it. Crystals is Wands, Diamonds is Pentacles. So this is the Queen of Pentacles. And this is the 3 of Wands. What are their next moves? Ooh, the Emperor. And what is the final outcome? The Star. Oh, that's beautiful. Can I just spoil the reading? Can I just spoil the reading, group number 1? Because this is bringing me back so much to 11:11, literally 11:11 on the camera timer. As I'm saying this, yeah, like this is wish fulfillment. So it's crazy to me that we're talking about the highest potential of your connection being like you're either able to witness each other making your wildest dreams come true, or you're actually like a part of making your dreams come true together. And I think I even said your life's biggest wishes and dreams, and that's exactly what the Star feels like to me. It always feels to me like this big wish that you've had in your heart for so long, maybe even for your whole life, but it always just feels kind of out of reach, or it feels distant or too good to be true. the final outcome matches with your highest potential. So that's me spoiling the reading. You're reaching your highest potential with this person. And I even feel emotional to be able to give you this message. It feels very important that you know this. There's a weight to this, that yes, your moment will come. Your dreams will come. And you will be there to bear witness to each other's dreams, or you will birth your shared dream together if you have a shared dream. You will realize together that no, it was not too good to be true. That no, we were not failing, it just wasn't our time yet. Okay, so this is a very bright future, the Star card, and it represents hope, it represents healing, it represents optimism. Like, oh, what a beautiful card to get in your final outcome. I just had to jump straight to that. So let's rewind a little bit, because we're gonna go to your current energies and see the turning point and see how you eventually get to this Star card energy. So I wanted to mention something about your Five of Swords. When I was shuffling the deck for this card, it felt like the cards were hesitating. Like it would look like a card wanted to come out and then it wouldn't. And then it looked like a bunch of cards would fall out and then they wouldn't. There was this feeling of hesitation, and I heard, I don't know how to show up in this connection. So some of my group number ones, you might be confused about what's the right thing to say, what's the right way to be, how do I behave towards this person, what does this person want from me? There's a feeling of confusion like that. And so what I felt when the Five of Swords came out was you may be showing up in an inauthentic way. When you are debating about what's the best thing to say to this person, you may often choose the thing that is not what you really want to say. You might say yes when you want to say no, or say no when you want to say yes, or just present yourself with a persona that is a bit out of alignment with who you truly are. And, you know, I think it's a bit unrealistic to say that we'll go through this life without wearing any masks. Like, everyone has multiple personas and we can put them on and take them off depending on the situation or who we're with. But the fact that this is coming up may be indicating that with this person, you often do opt for a less authentic persona when you don't have to. I'm hearing maybe you're afraid of upsetting them. Not like you're afraid of them, but maybe you don't want to disappoint them, or you don't want to let them down, or you want to maintain a certain type of image in their eyes, and you don't want to break that. So you say what you think you should say. You do what you think you should do. You choose what you think you should choose. I'm hearing also some of you may kind of just go along. It may be a people-pleasing thing. That might just be for a few of you. Take that if it resonates, but it may not even be specific to this person. It may be something that you just deal with in relationships in general, a sort of people-pleasing energy. So you do seem to be appearing in this confused or inauthentic energy. And then they're coming through as the Magician, which told me right away that the current dynamic between the two of you, they seem to be more in control. They seem to be more in the driver's seat. And taking the lead. I feel like giving the advice to speak your truth with this person and be more assertive. Because you're like, if you're in a car, there's a steering wheel on both sides, okay? In this analogy, there's a steering wheel on both sides. You are not meant to be just sitting in the passenger seat and being like, okay, yeah, we can go where you want to go. And You're also not meant to be like a backseat driver. You're meant to be driving together. You're meant to be deciding where this connection goes together, or where your life or projects or whatever it might be go together. I think there's a talent or a genius in this person that you admire a lot, but you need to know that you have it as well. And your input is just as valid. Your needs are just as valid. Your voice is just as valid. And I don't get the sense that they are the one who is like silencing you in any way. This may be just something that you are growing through as an individual, but it is affecting your ability to reach your full potential with this person. Like, you need to be this magician too. This vocal, creative, assertive, calling the shots type of energy as well. This is an energy that you are meant to be in together, and I feel like they are really embodying it. And I'm hearing spirit like wanting you to speak up more, and also don't be afraid to like voice your needs or disagree with this person, or ask this person for more, or ask this person to do something differently. There's a feeling of being afraid of upsetting them, and I think it's just because you don't want to lose them. You don't want to disappoint them or let them down. You don't want to lose them. Yeah. So let's look at something that your person loves about you, and something about you that triggers your person. I get the feeling, okay, there's something about this person could be a bit more intense than you are. Like, they go really hard. They do everything like 110%. They might get tunnel vision. Yeah, it feels like they do a lot. That's how I could describe them. They're an intense person. And with your energy coming through as the Four of Swords, it does seem like you're in a more, I don't know if passive is the right word, but a more receptive energy. Maybe you're more just going with the flow. And sometimes they might want you to, yeah, this is probably what we're talking about here. Like, wanting you to speak up more. I wonder if this energy feels like if this person is a worrier and they're telling you something they're worried about and you don't seem to be worried about it, like you just feel everything's gonna be okay. It's like that calmness might trigger them. Interesting. Rather than being reassured by the calmness, it like triggers them. I'm hearing like, I want someone to care about my problems. I want someone to care about my worries. But I think this triggering energy is meant to teach them. I feel like you can balance each other out quite a bit the more I sit with this energy. Like, you might teach this person to step back and relax and go with the flow, and they will teach you to step up and speak up and take the lead more. So like, they're coming back a bit and you're coming forward a bit, and then you can meet in the middle and you can drive the car together. Something that they love about you is your mind. I'm not really interpreting this Ten of Swords in the textbook way. I see the swords and I am thinking of your mind, and I'm also thinking of 10 being like full points, completion. This person finds you to be a genius. They find you to be very intelligent. They find you to be very creative. And there's just a feeling of like, I want to hear from you more. I know you have solutions. I know you have answers. I know you have inspirations. It's like they want to draw more out of you, but you seem to be in this receptive energy, or like going with the flow. I'm thinking of an example of someone saying like, what do you want to do? And you're like, oh, we can do whatever you want. Like, I'm fine. And it's like, no, I'm not asking as a formality. It's not a rhetorical question. Like, I actually want to know what you think and what your vision is and what you want. That's what this connection is trying to bring out of you. To not be in that like, oh no, we can do whatever you want. Like, I'm fine with anything. Like, okay, maybe you are fine with anything, but what do you prefer? That's what I'm really asking. 2222 as I'm saying this. What do you prefer? I want to know your tastes. I want to know your preferences. I want to know the vision that you have. I don't want, like, I can't work with that. I can't work with anything is fine. I can't work with I want whatever you want. It's fine. Yeah, this is definitely, it's like your assertiveness is really going to help move this connection along and help you reach your fullest potential. So now in the middle, we have this turning point, which is the Knight of Cups. So there is some offer being made within this connection that represents a turning point. And it does feel like an offer that is emotional or sentimental in nature. Oh, okay. This could be a few different things. For some of you, a confession of feelings or a romantic offer could be the turning point in this relationship. So, you ending up in the relationship is not the final outcome. It's just like we're still in the middle of our story, because then there's so much that happens after that, which is like our fullest potential is not the relationship. It's like what we build from there. We're just getting started, I'm hearing. So yeah, for some of you, I do think this turning point is a relationship offer. For others of you, it could be an offer of friendship, an offer of collaboration, if that resonates more with you. And for some as well, this Knight of Cups represents a moment of being very vulnerable and sharing something that you don't share with most people. Opening up about something from your past, opening up about a secret that you hold in your heart. Oh wow, because we're talking about secret garden a lot at the start of the reading. The turning point could very well be you revealing your inner worlds to each other. This is what I dream about when no one's looking, when no one's listening. This is what I wish for, or this is how I feel when no one's looking, when no one's listening. Yeah, telling each other something that you don't tell a lot of people, that builds a lot of trust. And not just telling each other, but really receiving each other's message. I'm hearing like, I see you, which is making me think of, is it Avatar where they say that? Like the blue people, they're like, I see you. Like that's their greeting. And I'm also, okay, now I'm thinking of Awa has heard you. That's definitely from Avatar. But like, I see you, I hear you. I see your secret garden and I think it's beautiful. And thank you for sharing that with me. It feels very sacred. You're sharing something sacred with each other. And that's the turning point. Maybe that's a turning point of you beginning to speak up and share more. Maybe it's a turning point for them of like, I don't have to try to control things so hard because I realize now that there's a higher power guiding me and I can relax a bit. And then you're meeting each other in the middle. Yeah, that's your turning point. How you change in the connection is the Queen of Pentacles. So, who also has some Queen of Wands in her, apparently. But honestly, this is wealth. You are going to become wealthy through this connection or as a result of the confidence and support that this connection gives you. This is like reaching your final form in the material world. You might even go through some kind of physical transformation or physical glow up as a result of the love and support that this connection gives you, because I'm hearing this connection is your catalyst to let your inner beauty shine through on the outside. to allow your external avatar, there's that avatar again, to let that external human avatar reflect all of the beauty and magic that is inside you. And I'm hearing you are getting out of your own way to let that inner beauty come out. So physical transformation, probably feeling the most beautiful, attractive that you have ever felt within this connection. And also manifesting your material desires and manifesting material wealth. I also heard no one can take this away from me. So, and that feels like self-esteem. Building a self-esteem that no one, nothing can take away from you. Whether they're intentionally trying to or inadvertently, they cannot take it away from you. It's rooted. It's grounded. I love that you're growing into a queen and they're growing into a king. Your genders don't matter. It's just that the queen and the king are the highest evolved of the court cards. And so when we're talking about you reaching your full potential, to see you coming through as a king and a queen, if that doesn't scream full potential, I don't know what does. So they are coming through as the Nine of Cups and the King of Swords. So their wishes are coming true. I feel like this future with you, oh, even like the way they're looking at you, both of the cards are looking at you and you're looking at each other. Like, it's so sweet. This is something that they've been wishing for a long time, to be able to reach this place with you. It's like a wish that they've had, and now it's become a reality. As I'm talking, the camera wants to focus on this. Interestingly, this angel is for travel, for protecting you during travels. So there's that message again about you potentially traveling the world with this person. You could also be from different parts of the world. That could be another way to interpret it. I'm also hearing letting the world know. So I do feel like you'll be very open about the special connection that you share. There may be certain things that you keep between the two of you. For example, you may be open about the fact that you have, it sounds so weird when I say it like this, but open about the fact that you have given each other the key to your secret gardens. Like, this person knows everything about me. This person knows my wildest dreams. This person knows my deepest, darkest fears. You might not reveal what that is to everybody, but I think you will reveal that you have this very special connection with this person. That much will be known and that much will be felt by others. So this strong bond that you have will be one that you proudly display and share with others, and that I think is very inspiring. And I also see your person mellowing out a lot, because at the start of the reading they were coming through with quite an intense and highly strung energy, and it seems like after this turning point, when their guard is let down, their personality just mellows out quite a bit. I often see a mellow temperament with the King of Swords, and I'm not sure if that's like the textbook meaning. That's just what I've always felt, like calm, cool, collected, mellowed out. Nine of Cups is like contentment, satisfaction, gratitude. So I just see them being a lot calmer, and they kind of see you as a miracle. Like, you're someone who can help nurture their ideas and make them a reality. They kind of see you as a master manifester, and there's almost an empress-like quality to this queen, the way that they see you. And although they've maybe mellowed out quite a bit, I still see that they share their genius and they share their ideas, and that's something that you really admire about them. So yeah, there's totally a committed partnership here, the way you're a queen and king and the way you're looking at each other, the way there's this Nine of Cups talking about wish fulfillment, that much is very clear. In terms of your next moves toward this person, we have this, oh, you both have Aries cards for your moves towards each other. That's very interesting because the Emperor is an Aries card and the Three of Wands is the Sun in Aries. So you're both being bold. You're both being bold. You're both making moves towards each other. I see you, your next move towards your person will involve you coming out of your comfort zone in some way. And you're saying something to them, but you're kind of doing it for yourself. You're not saying this to them with the expectation that they react in any kind of way. You're not saying it to them because you want a certain reaction from them, and you're not letting their reaction dictate whether you say it or not. It's very much like I'm doing this for me. Just for an example, I'm going to tell this person how I feel. And I'm not telling them because I need a certain answer from them. I need to do this for myself because I need to like come out of my shell and commit to saying what's in my heart. It feels like a bold act of self-love, and it feels very much like I'm just going to go for it. I have no idea how they're going to react, but that's not the point. And then I think they receive it very well. Not only do they receive it, but they identify with it. I'm trying to think of a better example, like something that you would be afraid to tell people. Okay, this is really silly. Imagine you are very passionate that the sky should be purple and it should not be blue. And this is something you're very, very passionate about. And you're like, I don't care how crazy I'm gonna sound, I'm just gonna tell them. And then you're like, person, I think the sky should be purple. And they go, holy shit, I think the sky should be purple too. You know, something like that. Or not me saying I'm gonna think of a better example and then using that. Like, I think I met you in a past life. Okay, maybe something like that. And they're like, I think I met you in a past life too. So it's like, it's not only that they're receiving what you're saying well, but they identify with it in the exact same way. Which, that's the secret gardens merging. Like this thing that you've been keeping sacred within yourself exists in them too. And when you reveal it to each other, that garden becomes bigger. And it has the potential to get bigger and bigger if you want it to. And then, yeah, we already talked about the star, but this is your bright future and your wildest dreams coming true together. I love the energy of this group. You really balance each other out, and I think you provide each other with a lot of inspiration and hope, and you give each other a reason to keep going. Even right now in your current energies, you give each other a reason to keep going, and that's something you'll continue to do for each other. This is beautiful. So we are gonna head into the extended now, where we're going to see what would maintain this outcome that we saw here. What energies would help maintain this outcome? And is there anything that could possibly change this outcome? And if so, what is that? We are gonna get a message from your person's egoic self and a message from their highest self to see how similar or different those are. And then we are going to see any possible significant timeframes, places, as well as signs and synchronicities. So if that sounds good to you and you would like to join me in the extended, that's going to be linked down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have a link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we now have over 100 exclusive timeless readings, just like the ones here on my channel. And we also have 2 new ones every month that you can choose the topic for. So that's going to be linked down below. It's a great time over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, anyone else who may have appeared in this reading directly or indirectly. And I'm sending love to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 2s. So if you guys chose the Opalite Owl and the Naked Heart Tarot, which I have right here, this is going to be your reading. So like I mentioned in the intro, we're going to do this reading exactly how I saw it in my dream. So we have the tarot board out, and this is the full breakdown of the reading. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. Here on YouTube, we are going to start with these oracle cards to see the highest potential between you and your person in this connection. And then we are going to go through the spots on this tarot board from 1 to 10, and they're all going to represent different things. So we are going to see how you are currently showing up in this connection, how your person is currently showing up, something about you that your person loves, and something about you that triggers your person. And then we're going to see what the turning point is of this connection. This could be something that is going to happen in the future, something that is currently unfolding. It could even be something that has already happened, but this turning point represents a moment of powerful shifts or powerful realizations that then propel you into the future of your connection. So then for our future energies, we are going to see how you'll change within this connection, how your person will change. We're going to see what your next moves are, what your person's next moves are, and what the final outcome is. So that's the reading here on YouTube. Then in the extended, we are going to see what would ensure that this outcome stays the same and what could change this outcome. So whatever outcome we happen to see, whether that is something that you do want to happen or something that you weren't hoping for, we will find out what it is that would ensure the outcome stays the same and what it is that would possibly change that outcome. Then we are going to see a message from your person's egoic self and a message from your person's highest self, so we can see how similar or different they are. And then we are going to see possible significant time frames, places, as well as signs, symbols, and synchronicities to look out for pertaining to this connection. So that is the full reading that we're going to be doing today. Thank you so much for being here, and without further ado, let's get into it. So these oracle cards are going to represent the highest potential of the connection with your person. We have butterflies, crush, new love, and catching feelings. We have sacred realm with the number 33. Enter your sacred space to tune into the portal of your heart, somewhere that feels safe and peaceful for you to connect in solitude. And we have child. Okay, so, and I just noticed this card is butterflies, and then there's also butterflies on the child card. So butterflies could be significant, as well as whales. There are orca whales on this card. Oh my gosh. So let me just finish what I was saying. There were orca whales on this card, but whales in general could be significant. But this card is number 33. And as I was holding it up, the camera timer went to 333. So that could be a really significant number for this connection as well. We also have the numbers 1 and 4 here. So 1, 3, and 4 could be significant numbers somehow. And number 3 is the number of the Empress. So, which is a motherly and parental kind of energy. And then we have child here. So for some of you in your highest potential, you could quite literally end up having a child or children with this person, or maybe you already do, or you are building something together in your future. That's like half you and half them. There's definitely a very strong attraction here because the Empress, 444 as I'm saying this, so the Empress and the Emperor's energies are coming through. The Empress is the epitome of beauty and luxury. I feel like this is a person who wants to provide for you. And in the highest potential of your connection, they would be an incredible provider for you. I'm hearing they could give you anything your heart asks for. And I would even go so far to say that this person wants to spoil you, and they want you to enjoy the finest things that this world has to offer, whatever that means to you, whether that's material things, whether that's experiences, whether that's travel. Maybe the finest things for you is emotional. Maybe it's family, maybe it's children. That's going to be different for every one of you, but there's a strong feeling of this person wanting to give you the best that this world has to offer and like shower you with it and spoil you with it. This person in the highest potential might kind of spoil you a bit of just giving you everything that you want. You deserve the best and they want you to have the best, and I'm hearing they would work tirelessly to give that to you. I'm hearing that they would take their role in your life very seriously. So for example, if this was your spouse one day, they would take that role of being your spouse very seriously and think about, what does it mean to be a spouse? Like, I want to provide for you. I want to support you. I want to lift you up. And there's, I'm probably a broken record at this point, but there's really a feeling of wanting to like spoil you and shower you with affection. And there's a lot of physical attraction here because we had that Empress energy, and we also have this butterfly energy that talks about having a crush, that talks about catching feelings. We have some boobies on this card. They are thankfully censored, so YouTube cannot get mad at me. But there's a feeling of appreciating your physical form and having a very beautiful physical connection. And I think that in the highest potential of this connection, no matter how much time had passed, you would still get those butterflies. You would still feel that sort of honeymoon and crush-like energy. I also feel like with the Sacred Realm card, there is the potential to deepen your spirituality with this person. So perhaps they are a spiritual person as well, or in the highest potential of your connection, they would start on a spiritual journey. I feel like they're already on a spiritual journey in some sense, but I think being with this person would somehow enhance your spiritual knowledge or enhance your psychic abilities. This person is also, they would want to work hard to open doors for you. And I want to be very clear when I'm saying this. It's not that you can't do any of this yourself, but it's just like an urge that they have within them. The urge to hook you up with opportunities, the urge to open doors for you, the urge to help you. That's just in them. Okay, so let's get into our tarot now. And we are going to do our deep dive into this connection and where it's all headed and what it all means. Okay, for my group number 2s, how are you currently showing up in this connection? We have the 2 of Swords. How is your person currently showing up? The Chariot. Interesting. Something about you that they love. The 9 of Pentacles. Something about you that triggers them. The Magician. The turning point of this connection. Temperance. And now we're getting into the future energies. So how will you change within this connection? We have, wow, we have the Star and the 3 of Pentacles. How will your person change within this connection? The Spirit of Pentacles, which I believe is, I want to say the King. Yeah, I think it is. What are your next moves? The 10 of Cups. Your person's next moves. Judgment. And the final outcome is the Hanged Man. Okay, this is an interesting energy to start off with for how you are both currently showing up. You are showing up as the 2 of Swords. Your person is showing up as the Chariot. And immediately this made me feel that there's something that your person is more certain about than you are. Both of these cards have 1111 as I'm holding them up. Both of these cards have a duality to them. We have the 2 of Swords. The 2 swords are crossing each other, and this gives a feeling of being stuck at a crossroads or being unable to make a decision or feeling like 2 aspects are at odds with each other. The Chariot also has this duality with the 2-headed horse, but in this card, the 2 are going in the same direction. Like, they're not crossing each other. They're moving forward together. I feel like there's something about this connection that is giving you indecision, or you feel like, I don't know what's the best way to proceed with this. Whereas your person doesn't really see that obstacle there. And this is just one example. I do feel like this energy could play out in so many different ways, but it would be like if you, let's say you got an opportunity to move far away and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I should do, because if I move far away, then like I'm gonna be so far away from you. Like, should I stay here to be close to you, or should I move far away? And the way they're seeing it is like, well, either way, we're gonna make this work. So like, not that it doesn't matter which one you pick, but it's almost this feeling of I'm down either way. And I don't know your situation. Depending on the situation, it could be that your person is being very just optimistic. Some of you might feel like they're being a bit unrealistic. Like, let's say you got an opportunity to study abroad for many years. Just an example. And they're like, it doesn't matter if you go or stay, because like, we're gonna make it work. And you're thinking, come on, it's you know, it's 3 years long, it's 4 years long, I don't know if we're gonna see each other. And they're like, no, I'll come visit you. And it's like I had an ex once who was like, I'm gonna move to Japan to be with you. And I'm like, no, you're not. And for us, it didn't work out. Not that I'm projecting that onto this reading, just that I felt it was a bit unrealistic to say, you're gonna move to Japan. Because like they had a whole life back in Canada that I knew they were not going to leave just to be with me. So I feel like maybe you're being more, I don't know, let me not judge. It's like you could be the one who's being realistic by being like, I'm not sure. Or maybe you're being pessimistic. They could be the one who's being realistic, that we can make it work, or maybe they're being a bit naive. I don't know. But I just feel them in the energy that's like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, no matter what you choose or no matter what happens, like, we'll just make it work. And you're like, can we actually think about this a little bit? Like, that's the energy that I see you in. And I feel like this could be frustrating for you because you're trying to choose, like, do we go forward with this or not? Or what should I choose for my life? And how is this going to affect our relationship? And when they're all about like, no, we're going to make it work, we're just going to keep moving forward, I could see how that might feel like dismissing concerns or not looking at the situation objectively. But maybe that's the attitude you need to make it work. I don't know, group number 2. I feel like this is a tough situation or a confusing situation that you're in. This is how I see you. This is how I see you showing up right now. The obstacle could be distance. It could be your jobs. It could have to do with other people. Like maybe one of you has to leave a person behind to be together, or has to leave a group of people behind to be together. And the way you're showing up right now is like, we have to really think about this and make a decision. Like, this is not a leap of faith kind of thing. And maybe they're seeing it as a leap of faith kind of thing. So next we have the energies of, I keep doing this, like turning on the heater and then getting hot and having to turn it off. We have the energies of something about you that they love and something about you that triggers them. So what they love about you with the 9 of Pentacles is your self-sufficiency, is your ability to take care of yourself, your ability to manifest your own desires, your ability to provide for yourself. It's funny, we got that message of them wanting to provide everything for you. And this really emphasizes that it's not that you can't do it yourself. Certainly not that they think you can't do it yourself. In fact, what they love about you the most is your ability to provide for yourself and manifest and make something happen when you want it. They admire your independence. They know that you don't need them or you don't need anyone to make your dreams a reality, and they really like that about you. There could be something about your job, your profession that they really admire, or something about your career goals and aspirations that they really admire. I think they would see you as someone who has a lot going on for you. Like, you're hardworking, you're talented, you're driven, you're independent. I'm hearing you make it look easy. You work hard and you take on life's challenges and you just make it look so easy. This person has a lot of respect and admiration for you, and they're very grateful to you. I think you've done a lot to help this person. Maybe you've done a lot of favors for them or acts of service for them. You've helped them work through their own problems. In some way, they feel like they owe you. They want to pay you back. They're grateful to you. They admire your connection to spirit, and they admire your spirituality as well. They see you as someone, like I said, who has a lot going and who is very put together. They see you as beautiful as well, because this card is Venusian, but we already knew that. We already knew that they see you as very, very beautiful. And they admire you, and they also see you as someone who many others admire. They see you as someone who a lot of people like and a lot of people look up to. You're like the hot thing. I don't know what that means. You're that girl, regardless of your gender. That's how they see you. They see you as like you're that girl. The thing that triggers them about you, honestly, I feel like this is not a person who really gets triggered. So I don't even know if that's the right word. I don't think that you trigger them in any way. But the thing that they love about you could also be the thing that makes them like, oh, because it's like, I love that you don't need me, but also like, oh, you don't need me. You know, that kind of vibe. I love that you're independent and I love that you're doing your own thing, but also I miss you. I love that you have all these goals and dreams, but also come see me too. It's like that kind of vibe. And I wouldn't call that necessarily triggered. I think it's just a little paradoxical thing where it's like, I miss you and I want you to come here, but I also want you to be over there doing your thing. So I just have to reconcile that within myself. Yeah, I hear this person and I'm kind of blushing. There's definitely a crush energy here. I hear this person being like, I miss you, like come over here, kind of like come here. That's what they're saying. But yeah, I do feel like this is overall a confident person and they don't really get triggered or give up their power for others because they're coming through in the magician energy. That's like a very empowered person who knows who they are, and they probably see you in the same way. So they feel like you are equal counterparts. They feel like you're equal counterparts and that you would be a great match for each other. And I don't necessarily know what this means, but something that just came through is they love about you that you can see the subtleties of life. Maybe that's a spiritual thing. Like you can see with your physical eyes and you can also see with your third eye or something, or you're good at reading between the lines and seeing what most others don't see. I think they do see you as highly intuitive and highly perceptive. So I really like this person's energy. So I feel like whatever is confusing you is probably more about the circumstances or some life choice that you have to make. Then for the turning point, we have Temperance. I feel like we're going to realize that in some way you're both right. Because I was just watching a Gem Goddess reading and Temperance came out, and the way she explained it was so good, but that's fresh in my mind right now. And it's about this idea of course, coming into balance, but doing so by blending the two energies together. So saying like, is the correct answer black or white? Yes, it is black and white. It is both. So I feel like you both have a point when it comes to these energies. Like if there are obstacles in your way when it comes to being together, you absolutely can overcome those obstacles and make it work. But also, maybe you need to seriously think about it and think about the plan rather than just charging in head first. Like maybe we do have to think about how long is it going to take to overcome these obstacles, and what are some of the side effects of moving these obstacles out of the way going to be? How might that affect other areas of our life? Is this in alignment with our long-term goals? Is this really worth it? How do we go about this plan? Like, you're wanting to think things through and figure out what's the right choice is correct, but also their optimism and like, let's do it, we're going to make it work is also correct. So I think there's a turning point in this connection where you realize that you're both right and you both have a point, and you can solve whatever problems are facing you by coming together. And it's like finding the solution from the assumption that we are both right, even though on the surface it may look like we're saying different things. It's kind of like a moment where two people are arguing and then you're like, wait a minute, but we want the same thing. Or like, we're saying the same thing just in a different way. We're not actually arguing opposite points because we want the same thing. We have this common ground. So like, there's some turning point in recognizing that you're both right, or that a situation is not black and white, it's gray. And that there's a way to move forward that honors both of your concerns and both of your philosophies. This is interesting, and this could be like about different things for different people. So I'm really curious to know what you're going through with this person. But the turning point is the moment where your energies merge and you work together to face the obstacles, rather than saying like, should we do it my way or should we do it your way? Or is what I'm saying the right way or is what you're saying the right way? And it's funny because I feel like I was in that energy when I first started reading for you. I was like, maybe you're the one who's being more realistic, but no, maybe it's them who's being more realistic. And now I'm like, oh, it's both of you. Like, it's just two different ways of looking at it, but they're both valid and they both have wisdom in them. So you can implement both of them. Once you work together like that, that's when you can start to move mountains. I'm hearing very strongly, don't be avoidant, okay? I don't know if that's like you or your person, but there was just an energy of someone who shuts down when things are difficult, maybe because they're overwhelmed, or maybe because they don't want to face their feelings. I just heard, don't be avoidant. If there's a problem, face it. I mean, maybe that's obvious, but I feel like someone needed to hear that, or someone needed to be told that. But yeah, look at these ants carrying these heavy pentacles on their back. They're moving mountains. So when you're stronger together, that was a message that came through in group number 1 as well, but you can overcome any obstacles, no matter how big they seem. And it may be a matter of just, this reminds me of, I do this a lot where I freak myself out because I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much to do today. It's going to be so hard and it's going to take me forever. But once I get started on it, I realize that it's moving faster than I thought, or it's easier than I thought. But I would have never known that unless I started. So it's like, just start facing the obstacle, no matter how daunting it may appear. And once you start working at it, you'll realize that, oh, this mountain is not as big as I thought it was, or my legs are faster than I thought they were. And the obstacles will start to seem smaller and smaller and smaller as you face them. And it's like, I'm so glad I didn't avoid this just because it seemed big and daunting, because I'm realizing that it was completely within my capacity. And that's the thing, like, we say this a lot, but it's true. Spirit is not going to give you something that you can't handle. Spirit is not going to give you something that you're not ready for. And I feel quite emotional when I'm saying that. So that may be something to really sit with and reflect on. Spirit would not put the situation in my life if I didn't know how to handle it, if I wasn't ready for it. And with the star here, things are going to turn out beyond your expectations. There could be a message about rebuilding with the star card, because the tower is the card that comes before the star, and the tower represents something falling apart. So there's a feeling of restoration, especially with the ants. It looks like they're working together to build something. So you could be rebuilding something with your person, rebuilding intimacy, rebuilding trust, rebuilding a project, you could be quite literally, okay, maybe that's just for like one of you, but you could literally be building something with your person. Like maybe you're building a house or building furniture or something. I don't know how that's like relevant to your relationship on a larger scale, but, or like maybe someone's a construction worker or yeah, anyway, mechanic. You're rebuilding something. It could even be the relationship itself that you are rebuilding with your person. But it's going to be stronger this time. You are reinforcing the foundations so that whatever fell apart will not fall apart again. And the task of rebuilding will not be as difficult as you think because you have wisdom from your past experiences. Building the second time is going to be easier. This is something I've had to catch myself and like call myself out recently. Sometimes I beat myself up when I make mistakes, especially when I'm like, oh, that was such an inefficient way of doing that. That was such a waste of time. That was a dumb way to do it. And I'm like, well, now you know. So this is a valuable learning experience and you'll know for next time. But you wouldn't have known the fast and efficient way to do it if you didn't have this learning period. So I've kind of stopped beating myself up for doing things the long way and the hard way, because that's through the long way and the hard way, you learn the fast way and the easy way. So you're getting better with your person. You're building something back up. You're becoming more efficient, maybe like more efficient problem solvers, more efficient communicators, more efficient emotion regulators, something like that. Something that was once a long and difficult process to fix or to heal within your connection is now becoming a lot smoother and faster and easier. And it all comes from this realization of what if we're both right? And that could be an epiphany because it seemed that it had to be one or the other for so long. And it's like, what if we're not? What if it's not black and white? What if it's both? What if it's gray? Okay, then we have the message of, I realize I just read this as both of you. This was meant to be how you'll change, but it ended up being how both of you will change. So I'm also going to read this as both of you. You are both coming through as the King of Pentacles, which I feel like, honestly, you both already are the King of Pentacles. Like, you both have Magician energy. You both have Emperor and Empress energy. You both have a lot going. You both have a lot going for yourself and have your shit together. So maybe this King of Pentacles is a recognition of that. I'm thinking of imposter syndrome. So some of you could be recovering from that. I guess another way to say it would be, this King of Pentacles doesn't represent you becoming more talented. It represents the moment you realize you always were talented. This King of Pentacles represents the moment of you going from saying, yeah, I read tarot cards, like it's a thing that I do, to being like, I am a tarot reader, you know, assuming that identity, giving yourself that title. There could be something about giving this connection an identity, giving yourself an identity in relationship to this person, and being able to say it with your chest, or I was going to say something else and now it's gone. Putting a name to something. Yeah. Putting a name to something. Someone could be taking someone else's name, if it resonates. But yeah, something about this King of Pentacles is like not being afraid to call something what it is. Going from this, like, yeah, I have some little intuitive insight sometimes, I don't really know, to being like, I am an intuitive person, and saying it with your chest and claiming your gifts. That's another way that you are changing together. I also just heard you saved my life, that feels like quite an intense thing to say, but maybe that message is relevant for a few of you. In terms of your next moves, we have the 10 of Cups, and your person's next moves is Judgment. So I feel like your person is going to put a little bit of pressure on you, is going to light a fire under your butt a little bit so that you stop playing around, I'm hearing, and go after your greatest joy. So they're going to put pressure on you, and they're going to illuminate anything inside of you or anything in your life that is standing in the way of your highest joy. I'm seeing that scene from The Notebook where, I always get the Ryans mixed up. Ryan Gosling is saying, what do you want? What do you want? And Rachel McAdams is saying, it's not that simple. And he's like, what do you want? And she like can't answer him. And I feel like there's gonna be a moment like that with you and your person, because Judgment feels like a moment of truth, and it feels like it's time to rise up. So they're gonna call you out if you are sabotaging your own greatest happiness, or if something in your life is getting in the way of your greatest happiness, and you're in a wishy-washy energy about it or in an indecisive energy about it. I feel like your person is going to call you out and be like, what do you really want? Okay, I'm realizing for some of you, they may be doing this in a more gentle way, like leading you to that conclusion by yourself, just through talking to them. And you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting in my own way of my happiness, or this thing in my life is getting in the way of my happiness. And talking to them helps you like have that epiphany moment. For others of you, they are going to be more direct about it and be like, hey, group 2, you need to stop doing that. Or hey, group 2, you need to pursue that. Because if you're saying like you want this and this and this, like you just got to do it. That's very much your person's energy, like from the start. They're a go for it kind of person. And you know, sometimes that leads to great things. And sometimes we have to rein it back a bit. But I think that they're going to help you go for it. And that's like a big part of your soul contract, is them bringing you this moment of truth. And if you are not, ooh, I'm getting emotional. If you are not being true about what your 10 of Cups is, about what your ultimate happiness is, or if you are slacking on going after it or avoiding going after it, there was that message of don't be avoidant. Some of you are avoiding your very 10 of Cups. Some of you are avoiding your greatest happiness and your greatest joy in this life. And they're not going to have that. They're going to call you out on that. That's what's happening next. The final outcome of this is the Hanged Man, which is, the Hanged Man is like a to be continued ... of the tarot. It's like, which way is this gonna go? It's literally a cliffhanger. The fact that we have a hanged man at the end of a reading is quite literally a cliffhanger. It can represent a sort of cocoon energy because the Death card is next. So there's a transformation pending in the relationship, but we're still in the cocoon. And we don't quite know what it's going to be. And maybe it has to do with you deciding what your ultimate happiness is. Are you deciding that it's this connection? Are you deciding that it's something else? Are you deciding that it's path A or path B, or going somewhere else or staying here? Like, I think it's just very interesting that it ends with your person being like, moment of truth, what do you want? What's your greatest joy? You being faced with that decision, and then there's a cliffhanger. So maybe the final outcome of this connection will be up to you. It could be that if you don't take action, things will be left hanging in the connection. It could be a ball is in your court sort of thing. Whatever dynamic you have with your person is just gonna stay this way until there's an agent of change. And the Hanged Man can indicate things being up in the air. So it really feels like things are going to stay up in the air in this connection until you make a decision. So we may have to change up the extended a little bit, because I think what we're going to see is what are the possible different outcomes of this connection and what would bring those about. Because it's really like, or maybe this is your answer. Like maybe just knowing, like if you can't or don't want to go to the extended, maybe your answer is that things are going to stay in the air, or things are going to stay the way they are as long as you are not the agent of change. If you want the dynamic to change in this connection, if you want the relationship status to change, if you want the level of commitment to change, if you want something to change, I feel like it would have to come from you. So maybe that in itself is answer enough for you, that like the change wouldn't come from the other side. But yeah, I think in the extended, we're going to get into we'll see a couple different possible final outcomes of the connection and what would bring each of those about. And then we're going to see a message from your person's egoic self and a message from their highest self. And then we are going to see possible significant time frames, places, as well as signs, symbols, and synchronicities pertaining to this connection. So if that sounds good to you and you would like to join me in the extended, I'm going to have that linked down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we have tons of timeless exclusive readings, just like the ones here on my channel. We have over 100 now, and we also have 2 new ones every month, and you can choose the topic for those. So I'm going to have that linked down below. It's a great time over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your person, to anyone else who appeared in this reading directly or indirectly, and to your higher selves, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Amethyst Cloud and the Pastel Journey Tarot, which I have right here, this is going to be your reading. So like I mentioned in the intro, we are doing this reading exactly as I saw it in my dream. So we brought out the tarot board, and this is the full breakdown of the reading that we're going to do today. So we have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. Here on YouTube, we are going to start with these oracle cards to see the highest potential of this connection between you and your person. Then we are going to fill in these spots from 1 to 10 on the tarot board, and they're each going to represent something different. So we're going to see how you are currently showing up in this connection, how your person is showing up, something about you that your person loves, something about you that triggers your person. And then we are going to see the turning point of this connection. So this turning point could be a moment in the future. It could be something that is unfolding right now. It could even be something that has already happened. But this turning point represents a moment of powerful shifts or a powerful realization that then propels you into the future trajectory of your connection. And then in the future energies, we are going to see how you'll change within this connection, how your person will change, what your next moves are, what their next moves are, and the final outcome. So that is going to be the reading on YouTube. And then in the extended, we are going to see what would ensure that this outcome stays the same and what could possibly change this outcome. So whatever outcome we see here, whether it is the one you're hoping for or not the one you were hoping for, the extended will reveal what would keep this outcome the same and what would change the outcome. And then we are going to get a message from your person's egoic self, as well as a message from their highest self, so that we can see how similar or different they are. And then finally, we're going to see any possible significant time frames, places, as well as signs, synchronicities, and symbols to look out for pertaining to this connection. So we have a lot to get into today. Without further ado, let's get started. These oracle cards are going to represent the highest potential of your connection with your person. So, okay, to start off, we have twin flame, mirroring other half, intense connection. We have crystalline awakening. This spiritual awakening is a catalyst for growth and expansion. You are awakening and remembering. And then we have trust in yourself, or believe in yourself. And the numbers that we have here are 45, 20, and 4. These could be significant numbers somehow. Also, the numbers 24 and 25 could be significant. So we are starting off very strong. And I have to say, of course, the title of this reading is What is this connection? And for the first two groups, we were answering this question by looking into the dynamic between the two people and how the two people impact each other's lives. This is the first group where there's actually like a label to the connection coming out, and we have twin flame here. So this is going to be a big confirmation for those of you who feel that this person is your twin flame. If you don't really resonate with that label, then I would focus on these keywords below: mirroring, other half, intense connection, because of course it is possible to experience an intense spiritual connection even if you're not in a twin flame connection. So don't focus too much on the label. But with that being said, this could be a strong confirmation for some of you who are watching. I just want to mention, for those of you who do feel like you're on a twin flame journey, please don't let the internet validate or invalidate your connection. I know it's fun to watch those like signs that this person is your twin flame, or like 6 traits of the twin flame connection. Like, it's gonna be between this type of person and that type of person, and they're gonna go through these stages. If you can get confirmation from that, that's amazing, but don't let someone confirm or deny because you know your experience the best. And just because your journey might not fit what someone on the internet said, it doesn't mean that that's not your twin flame. Like, at the end of the day, that's you, and you're gonna know yourself the best. Okay, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And now let's get into the reading. So there is, as this card says, a very strong intensity to your connection. I feel like it would likely be the most intense, I want to say, within the first couple of years. The first couple of years of knowing this person could be intense in a kind of difficult way, but I feel like the energies would mellow out over time, because these two people look like they're relaxing together. Looks like they're on a camping trip. It's peaceful. They're relaxing by the fire. I feel like a lot of the highly strung energies, or I want to say fraught energies of the connection, are going to get out of the way in the beginning. And as time goes by with this person, it's just going to get more and more peaceful, more and more stable, more and more comfortable. it gets easier as it goes by. So for those of you who are in a difficult situation with this person right now, just know that it only gets better from here. And if you have been through something really difficult with them in the past, I want to tell you that the darkest days are behind you. I really feel that, like, it's only going to get brighter and easier from here. And your highest potential really feels like you just comfortable, relaxing, snuggled up together with nothing to prove. I'm hearing maybe a big part of your connection together is helping the other realize I'm valid just the way I am, and I have nothing to prove to anyone. I don't have to be walking around this earth like I have something to prove. Just me existing is enough. Yeah, that's a big theme of this connection, recognizing that you are lovable just the way you are. And I know that this says other half, and you may feel in a sense like this person completes me, but I also think that at the same time, a big part of your role in each other's lives is to help each other realize I was whole and complete on my own this whole time. There's nothing about me that I needed to change in order to be lovable or improve in order to be lovable. I already was. And oh my gosh, this is reminding me of, I hope that I can find it. Okay, I just had to go and get another oracle deck, and it was actually one of the first cards, so I didn't have to fish through it that much. This card from the Divine Abundance Oracle, I feel like represents how you feel in this connection. You have been worthy to belong to love all along without any need to improve. In fact, you are love itself. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck, and this is one of my favorite decks. I should use it more often. Tigers could be significant somehow, someone's favorite animal, or year of the tiger. I want to get another one from this deck because I think she wants to be a part of your reading. What else can we know about the highest potential of this connection? We have freedom. I no longer want this fiery ring of resentment to block the good. Release me from its bonds. Oof. Okay, that's like deep healing that you are facilitating within each other. It's an awakening that feels like freedom. This connection is a catalyst for growth and expansion. And somehow it's freeing you from resentments from your past or baggage from your past. You're starting a completely new cycle with this person. For some of you, this could be the beginning of a cycle of healthy relationships, or like of showing up in a relationship as your best self. We also have acceptance. Radical acceptance in the now opens the flow. I think in the highest potential of this connection, it also really anchors you in the present moment. So you're not so concerned about what's in our future or what was in our past. You're very, very present with this person. This feels like a deeply spiritual connection. And then we also have trust in yourself. I think a big theme of this connection as well is that this person will remind you that you are the most important person in your life and you are the most special person in your life. They will be the greatest champion for you, loving yourself and esteeming yourself, if that's even how you say it, and being confident in yourself. When you're with this person, when you're with each other, you will feel limitless and you will feel like you can do anything. This is beautiful. This is so beautiful. Sorry, tarot board. Okay, so I'm going to just move these to the side. I may have to move some things out of the way because we have a lot of extra cards. I will put you here and the little bee can go in the bowl by the flowers because bees like flowers. And then I will put these cards here. Okay. So now we're going to get into the tarot that you chose, which is the Pastel Journey Tarot. Group number 3, how are you currently showing up in this connection? Oh, that's the exact same card that group number 1 got, in the exact same position. I don't know if any of you were drawn to group number 1, but that's very interesting. How is your person currently showing up in this connection? We have the 8 of Pentacles and the Devil. What is something that your person loves about you? The King of Swords. I just want to say I'm picking up a very down-to-earth and no nonsense type of energy from your person. The only thing they're really impressed by is people's souls and people's character. And they're like the opposite of pretentious. Like they're just, what is that? They're so genuine. They're so sincere. What is something about your person? Oh, what is something about you? Not me mixing up your energies. What is something about you that triggers your person? And we have the 7 of Wands. What is the turning point in this connection? What is the turning point in this connection? We have the Ace of Swords, and I do want to just point out that I feel like the deck was taking a bit longer than usual for this. So judging from the previous part of the reading, I feel like the turning point represents when things get easier, like we were talking about, and that might take some time. It will take some time, like from the moment you meet, maybe you go through some difficulties, and then the moment it gets easier, that will take some time. I don't necessarily mean that it's going to take a lot of time from now, the time that you're watching. If you've already known this person for a long time, then things could be getting easier very soon. Okay, so what about the future energies? How are you going to change within this connection? The Tower. Oof. How is your person going to change? The Knight of Pentacles. What are your next moves in this connection? The 5 of Wands. What are your person's next moves? Strength. And what is the final outcome? The 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so like I said, 5 of Swords, that is exactly how the reading started for group number 1 as well, which is an interesting synchronicity. And I do feel like the message coming through is a little bit similar. The way you are currently showing up in the connection with your person may not be the most authentic. And more specifically, it feels like there are certain things that you care about that you pretend you don't care about, or there are certain things that get to you that you act like it's not fazing you. I kind of feel like this King of Swords represents, okay, this is a tough one. The King of Swords, I do think represents your person's energy. And then I think it represents you trying to match them. Air signs could be significant. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That's just for some of you. Also Capricorn. Sorry, I'm going to say a lot. Capricorn and Leo. Okay, yeah, this is a bit of a tough energy because it's like, let's say your person is very particular about how the house is organized. This is just one example, but this energy can be applied to a lot of different situations. Your person is very particular about how they organize the house. You either like are not particular or you're not particular in the same way. Maybe the way that they organize the house stresses you out. But you don't bring it up because you don't want to ruffle feathers and you want them to like you and you want them to be comfortable. You don't want to let them down. And so you work really hard to keep the house organized in the way that they like. The way they perceive it, they're like, wow, this is great. We're on the same wavelength. Group 3 is so awesome. They organize the house in the same way as me. So the way they're seeing it is like, wow, everything's great. Everything's awesome. So harmonious. And then you're the one who's like struggling silently because actually it doesn't come authentically to you. Another example would be like if you want frequent communication and your person doesn't communicate frequently, so you adjust your expectations and they'll be like, oh, sorry, I didn't text you all day, I was busy. And you're actually upset, but you're just like, oh, it's okay, don't worry. Then they think, wow, group 3 is so chill. Like, they're just so understanding. And so it's creating, and then it's like, they expect that you're gonna be this way and then you have to maintain it. And there's also an example coming through of like, and these are just examples, by the way, please like apply it to your situation, like a neurotypical person and a neurodivergent person. And the neurodivergent person has to really work hard to keep up with the neurotypical person. And the neurotypical person doesn't even realize like they're masking or they have to work twice as hard to like match the energy. So yeah, I feel like my group number 3s, you may be struggling a bit to match this person's energy and you feel like you have to match their energy to make them happy. And then the way they perceive it is like, this is great, we have the same energy. I don't know if this need to match their energy is self-imposed from you, or if they expect you to do that, or if they've said that they want you to do that. But I do see, I'm hearing more often than not, or maybe even always, it kind of seems like you're the one that has to match to them. And that's maybe a difficulty that I see in your current dynamic. In your person's energy, the 8 of Pentacles combined with the Devil, this is very much giving workaholic, because if the Devil's coming out with another card, I feel like it sort of highlights the shadow side of that card. And 8 of Pentacles represents someone who is hardworking, who is like in their routine, perfecting their craft, trying to get better and better and better. If you add the Devil to that, it could indicate an energy where we are becoming obsessive about that. So, for example, your person could be getting busier and busier, working longer and longer hours, or they achieve a goal, but then they just set the bar even higher. So they're never like satisfied. They could be very perfectionistic. Yeah, it feels like a perfectionistic or workaholic type of energy. And this could be affecting your connection as well. Maybe it makes them less available in terms of their time or their energy, or perhaps this is the energy that you feel like you need to match. Like, wow, they work so hard, I should be working harder too. And I think it's beautiful, like if we're getting inspired by someone and that propels us into action to work harder. But I don't think it should ever be from a place of feeling pressured or feeling like you have to prove yourself. So maybe you feel a pressure of like, I have to catch up with them. I have to get on their level. You could be perceiving that they are ahead in life in some way, which that's not necessarily true. It may just be a perception. But they seem to set really, really high standards for themselves. And then maybe you feel like because of that, you need to set high standards for yourself too. Or you might see them judging themselves harshly and then feel maybe they're judging you that same way. There's a pressure that you're feeling when it comes to being with this person or being around this person. But the thing that is a bit troubling, I think, is like that's the thing that they love about you. Now, I want to be really careful with this because I'm not saying if you stopped matching their energy, suddenly they're not gonna like you anymore. I don't really feel that at all. I actually think this person would want you to be easy on yourself and be more authentic. I think that the high standards they set for themselves, that's just for them and their journey, and they wouldn't expect anyone else to match that. This is a really a weird example, but I'm just gonna say it because it came to my mind. It's like if this person was blonde and then you wanted them to like you. So you're like, oh my gosh, no way, I'm blonde too. And you dyed your hair blonde. If you're already blonde, just pretend you're not for this example. And then they're thinking like, wow, it's so cool that we're both blonde. And you're like bonding over it. And then you're like, shit, like this is what they like about me. So now I have to keep filling in my roots so that they think I'm blonde. Because if they realize that I have brown hair, then they're not going to like me anymore. Until one day you're exhausted and you're like, I can't do this anymore. I'm not blonde. And they're like, what? But you're always, yeah, I know, I've been obsessively filling in my roots and spending a lot of money. They will be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were doing that. I love your brown hair. Like you don't have to go through all of that stress just to keep your hair blonde. You know what I mean? Like they will love the real you, or they would love the real you if they haven't seen it. So, okay, I wonder if this trying to match their energy is like a self-imposed thing, feeling like you want to get on their level or like you want to catch up with them, or feeling like, well, this is how we bond and this is what they like about me, so I can't take off this mask. You know, we were talking about the example of someone being neurodivergent. It's like when we first met, I was masking and you really liked that version of me. So now I feel like I have to keep the mask on. But then it's like when you stop masking, they love the real you underneath too. I feel like you just need to give them a chance to see it and recognize this person sets standard for themselves and they know it's unique. Like maybe this person is just capable of working a lot harder than others, or being a lot stricter with themselves than most other people are capable of doing. But they don't expect other people to do that. Yeah. And then I'm remembering that here, this was going to be a card for what about you triggers your person, but I said it in reverse, like what about your person triggers you. And it's funny because the Seven of Wands can talk about kind of burning the candle from both ends or working your fingers to the bone. So I just wanted to say, I feel like your person doesn't have an off button or like doesn't have an off switch, and it could be hard to keep up with them sometimes. Is this something about you that triggers them? Is there something about you? Let's see if we can get a clarifier. The Nine of Wands. Okay, a lot of this is about holding on. Okay, for some of you, I'm not sure this is a present energy. It could be something that happened in the past. I feel like this person has a side of them where they might push people away and like self-sabotage the relationship in a sort of get them before they get me kind of way. Like I said, this could be a past thing, but it feels like I'm afraid of being rejected, so I'll just reject you first. Or like I'm afraid of being abandoned, so I'll just abandon you first. Because something's coming through of like they tried that shit with you and it didn't work. Like they tried to push you away and you saw right through it. And you were like, oh, like you're wounded. Oh, you have abandonment issues. You don't want me to go away. They tried that with you and it didn't work, and that triggered them. So that's either maybe you're going through that with your person right now, or you went through that with them, but that's how I'm seeing this. Then we have for your turning point, the Ace of Swords. And like I mentioned, I think this Ace of Swords represents the moment where things get easier in your connection. And the Ace of, wait, isn't this the one you chose in the intro? Like when we were showing the cards, I feel like yours was the Ace of Swords. I also just saw 2929. So a Saturn return for you or for your person could make this connection like harder and then easier as you go through growing pains, or someone's frontal lobe, someone's brain finishing developing could make things easier in this connection too. That's just for some of you. But Ace of Swords represents clarity. So all of the heaviness, all of the confusion has dissipated. And this is going to happen through honesty and clear communication. So the turning point is really when you start being honest with each other, when you start being honest with them, and then it feels like a huge weight lifted. And being honest with them, and also being honest, it's not just about, in this case, it's not just about the things that I'm saying are true. It's also, I'm not omitting information that is relevant. I'm divulging everything. I don't want to get too into detail, but I'm thinking about a moment in my relationship where I just had to be, there was like something that was bothering my partner for a long time, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're bringing this up over and over and over. So eventually we had to just have a really, really blunt conversation. And I thought it was going to be really hard, but after we were just blunt, it made everything really easy. And then it was like a 180 and things just became easy. It was like, thank you for being honest. Thank you for getting everything off your chest. I feel better now. Now I understand what's going on in your head. And it was so freeing. So it feels like ripping a Band-Aid off, you know? So that's a turning point. It's a conversation. It's a very honest, direct, blunt conversation that you think is going to be hard, but it makes everything feel lighter. I was excited to get to this because this represents how you are changing in the connection. And as soon as I saw the Tower, I was like, this is an ego death. Like, this is a death of the old you, a death of the version of you that was weighing you down, that felt stifling. I'm feeling like you've outgrown, this is an analogy, like you've outgrown some clothes and now they're just like tight and they're restricting your movement. And you're like, no, I'm growing. I'm not meant to wear these clothes anymore. And you like strip them. Okay, I'm making it a bit dramatic. And then you finally get new clothes that are fitting to you. And maybe this is like an identity that you've been wearing, a persona that you've been wearing, your baggage that you've been wearing. You're like, I've outgrown this. It's weighing me down. It's heavy. It's tight. It's itchy. It's uncomfortable. It's restrictive. You're shedding an old identity. So you're going through like a profound ego death and an awakening within this connection. You are awakening and remembering. You're able to shed the old identity because you're remembering who you truly are. How they are changing in this connection is the Knight of Pentacles. So it's funny. I feel like this indicates, Knight of Pentacles to me always indicates like slowness, but still moving forward steadily. So I feel like your person is still moving forward towards all the goals that they have, but they're just doing so at a slower pace. And they're doing so in a bit of a less intense way. So you might inspire your person to, you know, change their 3-year plan into a 5-year plan so that they don't burn themselves out, or like keep working towards your goals, but maybe you work 8 hours a day instead of 12 hours. Like, I feel like you're helping them. And it's not even like you're saying, stop pursuing this goal. It's like, pursue all your goals, of course, but maybe at a more sustainable pace, maybe in a way that is more gentle towards you. And I wonder if your person does go through some sort of breaking point. Maybe they have a moment, like an episode of burnout, or you start to see signs that they're getting stressed out, and you are this positive influence for them to slow down. And as such, they will become more available emotionally, more available with their time and energy. And honestly, if we're being real, like, they're going to enjoy the process more. It feels like you're encouraging them to not just pedal to the metal and race to their destination, but actually take a moment to look at the beautiful scenery. Like, stop and smell the roses. You're still gonna get to your destination. You might as well enjoy the journey there. Yeah. I feel like, and there's kind of been this energy throughout the groups of like, we're helping our people take a chill pill. And I love that. Okay, so next we are seeing, what are your next moves? So I honestly love this 5 of Wands. It feels very empowering. Usually we see a bunch of people fighting with wands in this card, and it's very chaotic. All the wands are going in different directions. Here we see one person. She looks determined. She's throwing the wands and they're all going in the same direction. It's very organized is not the right word. I just can't. It's very clean. It's very purposeful. Going back to the start of the reading, we saw your current energy as maybe pretending that things don't bother you, that things don't upset you, that things don't get to you. The 5 of Wands is not afraid to step on some eggshells. 5 of Wands is not afraid to ruffle some feathers. It's a card of conflict, but I feel like in this context, it represents confrontation and not being afraid to say the contrary thing, not being afraid to disagree. So I feel like your next move is starting to be honest about the things that bug you, whether it's like a minor irritation or something that really upsets you. Like, for example, just going back to that example where your person's like, oh, sorry, I didn't text you all day. I was busy. Maybe before you'd be like, haha, no worries. It's fine. How was your day? But now you're going to be like, yeah, I wish I heard from you more, or it hurt my feelings when you ignored me, or when you left me on read, or like, I sent you 3 messages and you only responded to the last one. Like, can you please check all of the messages? Whereas before, maybe you would have just been like, oh, I guess those first 2 aren't getting answered. That's okay. Like, I don't want to stress you out. And it's like, I'm going to speak up for my needs, and I'm going to speak up for what I expect from you. And if that makes you uncomfortable, then good, because it means that we're addressing something important. I don't have to eat all the discomfort just to not walk on eggshells. So yeah, I feel like the Five of Wands person, she's not afraid of a little confrontation, and she's doing so purposefully. You know, she's not just being a shit starter. No, you're confronting things that are important, and you're not afraid to, you're not afraid to do that anymore. So it's a really beautiful growth from the start of the reading, where we saw you in this like Five of Swords that looks a bit more jumbled and confusing. And for your person's next moves, we have the Strength card, which means that whatever you're dishing out, they can take it. And I think they're going to be really appreciative that you're starting to show the real you, but I also feel a little bit of guilt, because it does seem like you had been masking certain parts of yourself to match their energy. And it honestly seems like they didn't know you were doing that. And I think they'll feel bad to think like in that example, I can't believe I made you dye your hair blonde this whole time. Like you should have just grown your hair. You know, like I'm sorry, I wish I had noticed, or, you know, I wish I had tried to see the real you more, or I wish I had made it more clear that like, this is just the way I am and I don't expect you to be the same. I do feel a little bit of that, and I think they're ready to receive whatever you would have to throw their way. And I feel like the Two of Pentacles, this final outcome, it is a readjustment of priorities. I definitely see your person readjusting their priorities, because seemed like they were in this workaholic sort of energy in the start of the connection, and really going hard with that, and that pulled them away, not just from the connection with you, but it pulled them away from their body. I'm hearing from their body, from their self, from other relationships, maybe even from their connection to spirit, just kind of like steamrolling forward, if that's the word. So I think this ends with your person reevaluating their priorities and investing their time and energy in a more well-rounded and a more sustainable way, probably slowing down quite a bit. And you may be going through something like that as well. I'm hearing a spring cleaning of your life. So just taking stock of what you're focused on, what you're feeding your attention and energy into, and seeing if you want to make any adjustments. And this may even be something that you do together. It kind of feels like you're restructuring your lives, and you're very much taking each other into consideration, which seems to indicate that you're making moves to actively make each other a more significant or more permanent part of your life. Like sort of building and readjusting your lives around each other to make sure that you're making each other more of a priority. That's what this feels like. Beautiful, beautiful adjustments being made. And I do feel like it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight, but you're sort of crafting your ideal routines together and making sure that you never make the other feel like an afterthought and feel like you're important and you inform my choices. I feel like that's a really beautiful display of love or care. But yeah, there's a lot of growth. There's a lot of growth throughout this spread. And I know that it may not be the easiest, but it's going to be worthwhile. Okay, so we are going to go into the extended now, where we're going to see what would ensure this outcome. So this restructuring of lives and prioritizing each other, what will ensure that outcome? And then what is something that could change that outcome? we are going to get a message from your person's egoic self and a message from your person's highest self and see how they compare. And finally, we're going to see any possible significant time frames, places, signs, synchronicities, and symbols pertaining to your connection. So if that sounds good to you and you would like to join me in the extended, I'm going to have that link down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we now have over 100 timeless exclusive readings, just like the ones here on my channel. And we also have 2 new ones every month, and you can choose the topic for those. So that's gonna be linked down below. It's a great time over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to your person, your higher selves, anyone else who may have appeared in this reading directly or indirectly, and to your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the Selenite Star and the Pastel Wizard's Tarot, which I have right here, this is going to be your reading. So I just took a little break after finishing group number 3 to recharge before I started your group. And there were a few songs in my head during that little break. I don't necessarily think that the songs themselves are relevant to your group, but I did notice that all the songs that were coming to me, the keys were all in the same range, around like A, B flat, B. And this range of notes is related to the third eye and crown chakras, and I did think that that could be significant to your group. So this could be an indication of a strong psychic connection that exists between you and your person. And I did get the sense that this person is very present with you energetically. Their energy is kind of always lingering around you. And the way it was coming through is that they are more present energetically at the moment than they are physically. So maybe this is a situation where this person is not around you physically so much, but their higher self is around you a lot. But even if you are meeting with them frequently in person, I just feel like their higher self spends a lot more time around you, if that makes sense. Also, I heard the message, you don't have to try so hard. And I feel like that was a message from their higher self to you. And there was also something coming through about them wanting to do things that calm you or heal you through the 5 senses, which is like very specific. I don't know if this is like a current energy or something that they would want to do in the future, but it would be like, for example, they might send you a song because they want the sounds to heal you, or they might, it's like the vibe of, I drew you a warm bath so you can calm down, or like, here's some essential oils so that the smell can calm you down. I don't know, maybe they're just big on like healing and comforts through the 5 senses, but that was something that is coming through. There was also, even just the fact that so many channeled messages are coming through before we even get into the cards, I feel is a sign of your strong psychic connection. There was an energy of someone who is disappointed at how little effort people put in, or how incompetent most people are. That could be you, that could be your person, it could be both of you. But it was a feeling of disappointment. I felt like it's not that hard if you just try. it's not that hard if you just make a little bit of effort, and yet it seems like nobody wants to make the effort. And it does feel like it has something to do with relationships. Like it really doesn't take, like for example, it really doesn't take that much to make someone feel special. It really doesn't take that much to brighten someone's day. It really doesn't take that much to learn what someone likes or to learn how to make them feel good. And yet, like, what are we doing? It's like being disillusioned by how little effort most people make. Yeah. I feel like your person is feeling that way, or it could also be about a certain field or a certain craft. Like, where's all the passionate people? Where's all the people dedicated people? I don't know. It's a bit hard to pinpoint what this feeling is. It's like a disappointment, a disillusionment. Maybe we're exasperated. I don't know. You could be feeling this way too about a certain aspect of your life, and you and your person are mirroring each other. But yeah, lots coming through before we are even into the main part of the reading. So as you probably noticed by now, my phone just went off and okay. There's too much going on. My phone just went off. The camera timer just went to 444. The freaking time is 444. And you are group number 4. Y'all need to calm down, group 4. This is too much. Okay. So, as you can see, the tarot board is out. That is because I had a dream that we were using it. So, like I said in the intro, we're doing this reading how I saw it in my dream. And this is the full breakdown of the reading we're going to be doing. We have the reading here on YouTube as well as an extended. So we're going to start by taking a look at some oracle cards to see the highest potential of this connection. Then we are going to fill up this tarot board from 1 to 10, and each card is going to represent something different. We are going to see how you are showing up in this connection, how your person is showing up, something that your person loves about you, something about you that triggers your person. Then we are going to see a turning point of this connection. So this turning point could be something that's going to happen in the future. It could be something that's unfolding right now. It could even be something that has already happened. But basically, this turning point represents a moment in your connection of profound shifts or a deep realization that propels you into the future of the connection. And for the future energies, we're going to see how you'll change within this connection, how your person will change, what your next moves are, what their next moves are, and then the final outcome. So that's the reading here on YouTube. Then in the extended, we are going to see what would ensure that this outcome happens between the two of you and what could possibly change it. So whatever outcome we happen to see here, whether it's the one you were hoping for or it's not the one you were hoping for, we're going to see in the extended what would make that outcome stay the same and what would potentially change it. Then we're going to get a message from your person's egoic self and a message from their highest self, and we'll see how those two messages compare. And finally, we are going to see any possible significant time frames, places, as well as signs, synchronicities, and symbols to look out for. Yeah, so that's the reading that we're going to be doing today. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. These oracle cards are going to represent the highest potential of your connection. We are starting off with ASL, question mark, social media, first impressions, and new connection. We have heart expansion, cracked open, your heart center is expanding, you are deserving of unconditional love. Oh, wow. And we also have clean up. But the reason I'm saying, oh, wow, is because this card is 1, this card is 11, and this card is 1. So we have 1, 1, 1, 1. We are getting bombarded with angel numbers for this group. And I'm not even surprised, okay? We had all those repeating 4s, and now we have repeating 1s. Doves or crowns could be a significant symbol. We also have white roses, or just white flowers in general, or roses in general. And something about a handshake or hands. I'm thinking of, I have this oracle deck, the tea leaf one. I use it in all of my monthly readings, and I don't think I'm going to find the actual card right now because there's too many, but there is a handshake card in this deck, and it says a meeting with a stranger could be important. I wonder if for some of you, maybe this is just a few of you, but I wonder if you're asking about someone whom you haven't met in the 3D yet, because this ASL, it feels very much like a nice to meet you energy, because this is, you're asking for someone's age, sex, location, I believe. So I feel like in your highest potential, you get to know yourself on a level that you'd never known before. It's almost like this connection paves the way to your own self-discovery and your own self-love journey. You will know each other like no one else. A big part of this connection is just how deeply you will know each other. And I feel like there is a deep trust and a deep friendship there. Even if this is a romantic connection, there's a deep loyalty. And the impact that you have on each other is that you want to get your life together and you want to organize your life in a way that is most loving to you because that's what you deserve. So this connection makes you recognize what you are capable of and what you are worthy of, and helps you see sides of yourself that you couldn't see before. We have heart expansion here as well. So I also think that in general, this connection cracks your heart open and makes you more capable of love in general, like not just towards yourself and your person, but in general. So as a result of how much your heart is grown through loving this person, you find you can love your friends more, you can love your family more, you can love your community more, you can love your craft more and your work. All of that. Just saw 1111 again on the camera timer. So expanding your heart and expanding your capacity to love is a big theme of this connection. And I just heard, I didn't know a love like this was possible. I definitely think there's a timeline where you end up living together, because just something about this looks very domestic to me. Or you share some kind of space together. It could be that you share an office, you share a studio, you share a, I don't know, like I know some people who like rent out an apartment, but they use that apartment as like a studio or workshop or something like that. You could share a space like that together. Okay, we're gonna use a couple more oracle decks, which I've picked up along the way. I did not start the reading with all of these decks, but as we went along, they wanted to be included too. So let's get a card from the Divine Abundance Oracle. Companionship. Oh, that's gonna make me cry because... No, I'm not gonna cry, but when my beloved cat Baffy passed away, I asked a tarot deck for a message from her, and it was 2 elephants snuggled like this. It wasn't this deck, but it was a really similar image. Oh, you may have a companion animal or even just a loved one on the other side who's coming through in this reading, because that's really, really significant for me. I also have a deck where I have a few decks with this imagery of like elephants snuggling. That could be significant somehow, but in another deck I have, there's elephants like this, and it's the number 22. So 22 could also be a significant number. It says, giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. I think both of you will enjoy the love language of quality time in this connection and be just so utterly healed by just being in each other's presence. I am guessing that many people are watching this for a romantic connection, but I honestly want to say for this group, like, no matter how your human avatars materialize, no matter what kind of relationship they create, just being able to exist on this timeline and on this planet together, I feel like is so healing. And it's obvious that you have a soul connection, but I don't think that the soul connection is designated to manifest in a certain way. I think you can build your human relationship into anything you want it to be. I'm hearing, I don't know why Bruno Mars has been, I've been channeling Bruno Mars a lot, I feel like, but I can hear him being like, it's whatever, it's whatever, it's whatever you like. That's funny. Okay, we have Peacock. Beware of great pride. We have rabbits. There's a lot of animals. Elephants, doves, peacocks, rabbits. Beware of great pride. A path with money is waiting for you to find it. Too much concern with sexual matters. Okay, I don't know about the too much part, but you and this person could have an amazing sexual connection and really help each other feel confidence and feel, I'm thinking of a peacock strutting their stuff and feeling themselves. There's a feeling of hyping each other up with your fiery attraction to each other. This is interesting to me. Money path and too much concern with sexual matters. I feel like this is not going to be for everyone, but I kind of wondered if there's like a work or business aspect to this relationship, and it's like you're trying to stay focused on that, but the tension is real and like the chemistry is real. Yeah, maybe that's just for some of you, but I did want to mention that could be a dynamic that plays out at some point in this connection. I can take this, like, what's not to love? You're feeling yourselves, you're enjoying yourselves, and you're making money. That's the highest potential of your connection. And whenever I see rabbits in a reading, I think of multiplying, because I guess rabbits multiply quickly. So when you're together, your blessings multiply and your manifestations happen even faster. You have this way of supercharging each other's growth and making your growth happen exponentially bigger, exponentially faster. Yeah, so let's move these oracle cards out of the way so we can make room for our tarot. Beautiful, beautiful energy with my group number 4s. Okay, so let's pick, not let's pick, you already picked it. Let's get into the tarot that you picked. And we're going to do our deep dive into this connection. Woo! So that came out really fast. How you are showing up in this connection is the Lovers and the Knight of Cups. How is your person showing up in this connection? The High Priestess. Okay, there is a song coming through. Oh, we have 2 songs by Artie today because group number 1 got an Artie song as well. Feel Your Love. I wanna feel your love. I wanna feel your love. Yeah, that's a nice song. Okay. What is something that your person loves about you? The Sun. And what is something about you that triggers them? The Tower. Every slot so far has been filled by a major arcana, which is kind of crazy. But again, I'm not surprised because your energy is hitting different. Group number 4 is hitting different. The turning point in your connection is the 3 of Pentacles. How are you going to change within this connection? 3 of Wands. How is your person going to change within this connection? We have the Devil and the King of Pentacles. What are your next moves in this connection? The 2 of Swords. What are your person's next moves? The Page of Pentacles. And the final outcome. Yumi is snoring up a storm. The final outcome of this connection. This is gonna sound weird, but you know how like rich and famous people can wear the weirdest outfits, but they just make it work with their confidence and they just pull it off? That's like the energy that you and your person have. Like, you just give no fucks and you make everything look cool and you pull everything off because of your confidence. You have some alpha energy, both of you, that I think you activate when you're together. You activate like the alpha strutting my stuff peacock energy in each other. What is the final outcome? I'm dying to know. What is it? Okay, we have the Ace of Wands. So, and 2222 on the camera timer. Okay, so you are showing up in the connection as the Lovers and the Knight of Cups, which lets me know that group number 4, I feel like you've embraced this connection and I know you've clicked on this reading of like, what is this connection? But honestly, I feel like at this point, you don't seem to be stressed about the what is this connection. I would say you're either in a place where you don't care what the label of the connection is and you're just here for the ride and you're here to enjoy it and experience it. I just heard I know love when I see it. So it doesn't matter what the label is of the connection, you know that it's like you love this person, or this person is teaching you how to love. Others of you, you're like, I already know what this connection is, and I'm just here for the confirmation. So I see you in this energy where you are not running from the truth of this connection. Your heart is present in it. You're honest with yourself about the magnitude of this love, and I think you're enjoying it, and I think you're not hiding it from your person. You may not be like screaming it at them like, you're my soulmate and I love you, like, but you're also not hiding it. You're not downplaying it. I think if when you see them, or if you were to see them, you are being sweet and loving towards them, and you're being open and vulnerable. And they're the high priestess, so they're on the receiving end of this energy. They are receiving your sweetness. They are receiving your love. They are accepting it, and they're picking up on it. They know what's up too. Part of me is like, I love to have you here, but part of me is like, why are you here? You don't need me to tell you. They're receiving your sweet and loving energy, and they're picking up what you're putting down. If you're sending out messages to them, they are getting them, whether that's 3D communication, little cues and hints that you're giving them. Maybe it's intentions and energy that you're sending them. They're picking up on it. And somehow they are answering you through their little cues and their little hints. Like the high priestess is subtle, but I feel like they're returning your energy in some way. Like, I see you, I get you. I feel what's going on between us. They're picking up on your Lovers and Knight of Cups energy, and they're loving it. And I feel like they're mirroring it right back to you. And yes, they are also aware of a spiritual connection. They are aware. For some of you, they may still be working out, like, they don't know what to think about it, or they don't know how to feel about it, but they know it's there. You're both acknowledging the connection right now, which I like. So, what is something about you that your person loves? We have the Sun. You make your person so happy. They would describe you as a ray of sunshine. They would say that the room lights up. I can tell you're in the room just because I walk in and it's so bright. Even if I didn't see you yet, I know you're there because your energy makes the room 3 shades brighter and 3 degrees warmer. I can just tell you're there. I can tell when you've been somewhere. That's the feeling. Oh my gosh, I'm having such a flashback. Oh my gosh. There was this video of, I think it was like a Nicki Minaj fan being like, Nicki, I can smell you. Like, where are you? Please, somebody, if you know what I'm talking about, it's like this girl looking for Nicki Minaj and she's like, I can smell you, bitch. And then she finds Nicki, and like the next clip is of her with Nicki Minaj and she's like, I found her. I'm gonna have to look this up to make sure that I wasn't having a fever dream, but I swear that that's a video that exists. And I do feel like you have a bit of spidey senses when it comes to picking up on each other's energy. They can feel your presence just as strongly as you can feel their presence, and you light them up and lift them up the same way that they light you up. They feel a lot more confident when you're around. They believe in themselves a lot more. And the example that's coming to my mind is when I was a kid, if I had like a talent show or a piano recital and I knew that my mom was in the audience, like it made me feel more confident and more like I can do it. And I was so happy that she was there. And you have that same kind of impact on each other. And I wouldn't be surprised if your higher selves, like if you hang around each other to give each other confidence in your daily tasks and endeavors, and just to give that encouragement of like, you can do it, you know, you give each other strength like that. And you encourage each other's expression of self, expression of creativity, expression of humor. You make this person feel like $1,000,000 and they just love the light that you bring. And they feel that there's something truly unique about you. They feel like you would totally stand out in a crowd, that they could pick you out in like 0.5 seconds. It's just something about your aura that is so special and that they've never seen before. I was gonna say 1 in a million, but it's not even 1 in a million. It's truly just one of a kind. This is how they feel about you. There could be something about your humor as well, or they feel like they can be carefree around you. They feel like they can let go of their inhibitions and truly just have fun and be playful without worrying that they look silly, you know? In fact, they might enjoy being silly around you and like letting that side of them come out. But yes, it's a complete carefree feeling. They feel really comfortable around you. There's something about this person is usually more shy and reserved, but when you come around, they can't help it because like they want to get your attention. So they might come out of their shell a bit more. This person wants your attention and this person wants to impress you. And I'm also hearing they feel lucky to be chosen by you. So they know that you've chosen them, or like they know that you have a thing for them, whether you've told them or not. And that definitely boosts their confidence. Like, you like me? You choose me? Okay. I just like tuck my hair behind my ears, like a little bashful, like, okay, like a little blush. There could be something about that area. Like I'm thinking the ear, the back of the neck, you know, that could be like a part of you that they find attractive, or like could be a sensitive area, a pleasurable area, something like that. Kind of specific, but there could be a birthmark or a beauty mark around that area. Like someone has a birthmark on their neck or like on their ear. I guess you could have a birthmark on your ear. I don't know. Anyway, now I'm thinking of like an ear monitor. So someone in their profession could do something with like speakers or microphones or headphones or some kind of like intercom walkie-talkie situation. Anyway, what triggers them about you? We have the Tower. And when I saw this card come out, I heard you could be gone at any moment. So for some reason, this person feels like you could disappear. And I don't necessarily think this is an abandonment thing, although it could be for some of you. Like at any moment you could leave me. At any moment you could change your mind. I think for many of you, this is more so that they're afraid of life circumstances ripping you apart from each other. You just never know when something's going to happen. Like, I can definitely relate to this because I'm like a foreigner here in Japan. So in a relationship, it's like one day immigration could just decide that they're not going to renew my visa and I could just have to leave. Like, you always kind of feel that impending what if. So that's just one example of external circumstances, of course, but there may be something like that with your person where they're like, at any point, you might not come back, or I might not see you again, or life might take us away from each other at any given moment. They're afraid of things changing. They're afraid of you being taken away or like losing you. Whether that's through like you changing your mind or you walking away or just life happening in a certain way. So it's not so much something about you that triggers them. I think it's more about the situation. Maybe they've even just had a really painful memory of something or someone they love being suddenly ripped away, and they're just really scared that that's going to happen again. That could definitely be a way of interpreting this as well. For the turning point in your relationship, we have the Three of Pentacles. So Three of Pentacles is associated with Mars in Capricorn. Mars loves to be in Capricorn. In fact, he is exalted there. He can really shine there. This is the energy where we get off our butts and we start working. And now I'm thinking of Work Bitch by Britney Spears. And I'm also thinking of Kim Kardashian being like, it's like no one wants to work these days. But yeah, that's the energy of this Three of Pentacles. It's like we are getting off our butts and working. So I kind of feel like this starts off individually. Like, you're both going on your respective journeys and you're just like, no more wasting time. I have a goal. There's something that I want to make. There's an advancement that I want to make in my career. There's something I want to master. I got to stop thinking about this and just do it. I got to put on my grown-up pants and just do the thing. And I feel like both of you are going through this in some way in your individual lives, and that leads to you merging. So I think you're meeting or coming together through a shared interest or a shared goal. Your ambitions are similar. Okay, going back to the start of the reading, maybe that disappointment that we felt is something that both of you feel. And there's a sort of like being the change you want to see in the world. Like, imagine if you're like, oh my gosh, there's no good tarot YouTubers out there anymore. Like, I'm so disappointed. And you're like, well, maybe I'm supposed to become one. So you are becoming the change that you want to see. You are getting up and doing something about your thoughts and intentions, and you're getting hard to work. And this is somehow bringing you together. So you're going to unite or reunite through this. And you could quite literally be collaborating, like working together on something, or the fact that you're just both going through a very similar stage in your life right now could bring you closer together. So even if you're working on your own things separately, you're probably going to be talking to each other a lot, because it's like how ASO and I, we both have our own channels, but we don't talk about it that much. A lot of our friendship has nothing to do with that. But there was a period where we would talk a lot about what we're doing and our experience and things. So I could see that being a bonding experience for you and your person. Like, you're both kind of working towards a similar goal, or you're quite literally collaborating and working on the same goal together. This is going to create a dynamic where you are consistently talking and perhaps even consistently meeting in person. And I feel like that's the turning point of your connection, because this connection will be very, very hard to deny if you are in each other's presence in the 3D for long enough. With sustained 3D contact, you will not be able to doubt or deny what is there. I would even argue that those of you who are feeling doubtful or confused about the connection, like, is there really something there? Is there really something between us? Do we really have this bond? That's probably just a sign that you haven't been in each other's presence in the 3D enough, because the chemistry is chemistrying, okay? Like, my stomach is doing backflips. Like, I feel it. It's very exciting. And I would bet that seeing each other's skill and dedication is like quite a turn on. You know when something's really good at something and it just makes them very attractive? I think that's the effect that you have on each other. Seeing each other's skill, dedication, knowledge, work ethic, things like that, that's gonna be very hot to each other, not for lack of a better word. That's the perfect word for it. You're talented and that's hot, group number 4. Now I'm thinking of Paris Hilton. A lot of icons in the chat today. Okay, so let's take a look at the future energies now. So we are seeing how you will change within this connection, and we have the 3 of Wands. This really feels like a growth and leveling up and discovering just how far you can take this life, just how far you can go with your talent. You were like a fish, imagining a fishbowl for yourself, when really you should have been aiming for the whole frickin' ocean. Like, you were really underestimating, or maybe are right now, underestimating how far you can go, how much you can grow, the heights that you can reach. And how you're changing through this connection is really realizing that the sky is the limit and you have what it takes to touch the sky. So this person seems to be aiding you in instilling a really strong self-belief, which I love to see, and really helping you come out of your shell. You're building a confidence. You know, this goes back to that message of feeling like when you're together, you can pull anything off. You can do anything and make it cool. You can do anything and make it successful, because it's actually not about what you're doing. It's about you. It's about your energetic frequency. What you touch turns into gold, because that's just your frequency. It's not even about I made the right decision. It's whatever decision I made is right because I made it and I'm gonna make it work. You're activating a magician energy together with this person. How they're changing is the Devil and the King of Pentacles. And when I saw these 2 cards together, I heard that they're becoming ruthless. They're becoming hungry. You are making this person hungry, and you could be rekindling something in them where they became kind of complacent, kind of comfortable. You're making them hungry again. I feel like you're reigniting an ambition in them, and they're not going to settle. I just heard they're getting a second wind. So like, both of you are realizing just how high you can go and just how much you can accomplish. It feels like they reached a peak in their life, maybe in their career, in their personal growth. And then they met you and were like, wait, this isn't even my final form yet. Like, I have this whole other mountain to climb and this whole other peak to reach. Like, I'm still getting more successful. I'm still getting more talented. I'm still getting hotter. Like, I'm still growing. And I don't know what this ruthless energy is, but maybe they're not going to take crap anymore. And they're not going to just settle for their current circumstances. They're going to keep striving for better and better for themselves. And also challenging, just because I've been at this level for so long, it doesn't mean that I have to stay here. There may be some situations in their life that are not ideal, but that they've just accepted because they're like, okay, this is just the reality of things. It's been this way for so long. I'm just gonna have to accept it. And you give them that courage to challenge it and change it. Because really, if they question themselves about why am I here, the only thing they can really come up with is because I've been here for so long, and that's just the way things are. It's not like they're actively choosing their circumstances every day and saying, this is what I want. It's like they're just letting the circumstances happen to them, but not anymore. I think that's the ruthless part. They might be making some cuts from their life or finally speaking up and being, it's like the energy of being like, I quit, and just walking out. And it's like, oh, who is that diva? Like, that's the courage that you're giving them of like, I'm not taking this anymore. Anything that is impeding my growth and impeding my blessings and the wealth, material and spiritual wealth that I know I can generate, like, it's just got to go. Yeah. But I'm hearing ruthless as a positive word somehow. I know it's not usually depicted in a positive way, but that's how I'm hearing it. Okay, so we have the Two of Swords representing what your next moves are in this connection. And this Two of Swords tells me that you don't know. You don't know what your next moves are. I feel like this is a beautiful connection energetically. This is a beautiful connection in the 5D. I think we have yet to get super close to this person in the 3D. That's definitely the vibe that I'm getting. Because I feel like if you were really close to this person in the 3D, you wouldn't be here. You would be busy with them doing something else. So I don't know why I made it sound weird like that, but could be any one of these activities. You'd probably be busy making money with them or making babies or something. You would not be here. But yeah, so we want to get closer in the 3D. That's the vibe that I'm picking up. We want to be closer in the 3D. But how do we do that? And I feel like you don't know. That's what the Two of Wands is giving me. And maybe the reason that you don't know is because it's not your move to make. You are this blindfolded person, and your person, because this represents their next moves, your person is sneaking up on you with this coin. So their next move is to offer you something, and it's something physical and tangible, which is exactly what we want. Like, if we're wanting something to manifest in the 3D, if we're wanting progress in the 3D, I think the pentacle is the one we want to see the most, because that's something you can touch. That's something you can hold in your hands and be like, look at this. So they're offering you something tangible. Now, for some of you, this could be them materializing into your life, literally you meeting them. It could be that them sending you a message with the intention to see you. It could be them just showing up to see you. It could be you bumping into each other, but they're gonna be physically there. Their next move is to make themselves physically present. That's like their offer to you. And I feel like because you're blindfolded, you may not see it coming, or you may be looking for them somewhere else and then they just show up completely, feels like out of left field. I think at first the offer that they give you is small because this is a page. And what I'm hearing is that they're sort of testing the waters because they've felt a lot. They've felt so much from you energetically. They've felt so much love and validation and confirmation from you energetically. But I feel like in the 3D, they're still in a place where they're trying to test the waters and see if they can prove this intuition right. So they're going to start with a small offer that will grow slowly over time. But once you've spent enough time together in the 3D, I feel like it's a done deal because it just feels like the 3D chemistry is so insane and so strong. I'm hearing, especially when you can look into each other's eyes, it's just a done deal. The second I looked into your eyes, I was like, oh shit, I knew it was over. I mean, I don't mean like the relationship is over. I mean like I can't run away anymore. I can't deny this anymore. I'm cooked. Like that kind of vibe. Then for the final outcome, we have the Ace of Wands, which can definitely indicate more sexual energy. I do think this is indicating like a physical connection, the connection that you want. The Ace of Wands can also indicate a lot of creative energy. It can indicate renewed hope. All aces are new beginnings, and when something is starting anew, whatever came before it has to end. And I do feel like there's a long cycle of this connection primarily existing in the 5D and primarily being an energetic influence in your life that is coming to an end. And this cycle that is beginning, it's like it's time for you to exist physically in each other's lives consistently. Heavy on the consistently. It's time for you to really be consistently in each other's lives. And I do think there's something important about you either creating together or being able to connect sexually that is like important or very powerful, I should say. That is very powerful because that also emanates creative energy. Anything that emanates passion, when you come together in the 3D and you generate passion between each other, that is very, very powerful. I recognize that this sounds dramatic, but it's literally like you're creating magic when you engage in any kind of passionate activity together. That's like you're making magic. And that's very powerful in your lives. And I think it creates a ripple effect, like, yeah, in how you show up for others. Because anytime you expand each other's heart, your heart stays expanded. And then you go off and interact with your loved ones and pour your heart into your work and into your community, and your capacity for love and passion and your capacity to create magic in the world grows with every 3D interaction. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be together in the 3D. And if you're telling yourself any kind of stories about why you can't or shouldn't or are not supposed to be together in the 3D, I am lovingly asking you to cut it out, because it's I want to say it's bollocks. That's like a British word, isn't it? Does that mean like it's nonsense? Wait, I have to look that up. I'm sorry if that's a bad word. It's rubbish. It's baloney. There's literally no reason why you cannot be together in the 3D. Oh, it means testicles. Love it. Vulgar slang, British. Nonsense, rubbish. Yeah, that's what I thought it meant, like rubbish. That's a load of bollocks. Bollocks to that. Okay, I'm gonna stop with that, but yeah, so that's what we got to focus on right now. See if you can find any programming, any stories in your mind that says like we can't or shouldn't be together in the 3D because XYZ, and just delete it, okay? It's not true and it's not helpful. And maybe it's rooted in fear, or it's rooted in guilt, or it's rooted in like resistance, or like depriving yourself of joy and the things you want, but it's got to go. That programming has got to go. It's silly. It's silly, I tell you. Speaking of silly, I'm in a silly mood, and I feel like I often get in a silly mood in group 4, or like, yeah, in group 4 of a long reading, 4 tends to be the silliest one, because it's like, I don't know, I think it's because it's the last one. And so usually I'm the most nervous in group 1. I'm like, hi guys. It's like, I feel like I can't talk. And then by the time I get to group 4, I'm just like loosey goosey. So hopefully you enjoy that silly energy. If you wanted me to be more like tight, you probably didn't watch to this point if that's the case. But if you want a more like nice, orderly, put together reading, you should probably choose an earlier group. Like choose group 1 or something, because group 4 is where we get a bit loopy. But it's just a different vibe, you know? Okay, anyway, that's everything that I'm seeing for my lovely group number 4s. So we're gonna go into the extended now, where we are going to see what will ensure this outcome, this consistent 3D relationship. What will ensure that outcome? What could change that outcome? We're gonna get a message from your person's egoic self and a message from their highest self. And we're going to see possible significant time frames, places, signs, symbols, and synchronicities to look out for pertaining to this connection. So if that sounds good to you and you'd like to join me in the extended, that's going to be linked down below in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where we now have over 100 timeless, exclusive pick a card readings, just like the ones here on my channel. And we also have 2 new ones every month, and you can choose the topic for those. So I will have that link down below. It's a great time over there. And my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I will also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your person, your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.